Senator Leila de Lima is of belief that the House investigation into the illegal drugs trade at the New Bilibid prison in Muntinlupa City was a waste of time. She also reiterates that she was not involved in the irregularity. This report by Jervis Manahan.
Senator Leila de Lima believes the House probe on the proliferation of illegal drugs resulted to nothing. In a forum held in Quezon City, de Lima was still fuming in anger and at one point became emotional as she answered many issues being thrown at her. She questioned why the public attorney's office or the PAO lawyered for two of the inmates who testified against her, even if these two are not considered indigent clients. De Lima said the PAO should prioritize poor Filipinos in need of legal aid instead of servicing high-profile cases. She also sideswiped at PAO Chief Presida Acosta, whom she said took charge in rehearsing inmates in their testimonies. She also repeatedly denied receiving drug money from drug lords.
Kasama lang po yan sa propaganda nila. Mind conditioning, brainwashing, para ma-justify yung mga pinaggagawa nila, lalo na yung pagpapatay.
De Lima believes that time will come and she will be vindicated from all the issues hounding her today. She also said she respects the Ombudsman's decision not to conduct a motu proprio investigation on her alleged links in the drug trade.
They're trying to make an example out of me. Anyone who will go against them will be silenced.
On the forum's lighter moments, audience members got to ask a few questions. They asked what things make de Lima happy despite the avalanche of issues and what thing will she be bringing in case she gets jailed.
Kung sakali po akong makulong, dalhan niyo lang po ako ng mga pocket books. Para magbasa na lang po ako ng magbasa. Marami nga akong mga hindi pa nababasa kasi pag pumupunta po ako sa bookstore, yan po ang bisyo ko, yung bili lang ako ng bili ng libro.
For the PTV News, Jervis Manahan.
May I continue, Mr. Chair?
Yes, you may. You have a minute.
Thank you. I do not wish to make any counter-manifestation or counter-statement in reference to what happened during that proceedings on which led to the outbursts. So may I just go back to the 2 points that I was mentioning. First, in relation to the suspension of hearing out the CHR witnesses on account of these unfortunate comments and statements from one of the commissioners. I am constrained, with due respect, Mr. Chair, to suggest or even to move that we allow the chair of the Commission on Human Rights to speak, say something, because certain statements are also being attributed to him. My statements and the statements of the Honorable Chair. So I think it is but just fair, just and right that we give the chair of the Commission on Human Rights to make a statement, to explain the side of the Commission on Human Rights, because the CHR witnesses have been prepared, have been ready, have been waiting since day one of this ongoing Senate inquiry. From the first hearing where I presided, they were there. And some of them come from the province, and they've been waiting to be presented before this body. Yes, this issue about that unfortunate statements attributed to one commissioner has created this situation where both institutions seem to be now at loggerheads. Institutional integrity, institutional It's institutional integrity, because while I was talking to the chair, he's also pointing, he's also saying that this also involves the CHR as an institution. If the CHR will simply issue an apology for something that he has not done or stated as an institution. There are other remedies, Mr. Chair. If we want to go after the so-called rogue commissioner because of such expressions of his opinion, such expressions of his sentiments also with respect to the goings-on in the ongoing, in the Senate inquiry, there are other legal remedies, like first, requiring him to show cause, Why?
I'm sorry,
He should not
the minute has expired.
He should not be cited in contempt. It's
sorry.
also my prerogative, Mr. Chair.
That the lady's minute has expired. The committee has the prerogative to continue on with the hearings. I'm
I
sorry.
have a motion, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead and file the motion. State the motion.
Can we tackle this? Because it's a motion.
State your motion. Do not do so.
My
Do not just tell us what
my motion is for the committee to allow or give opportunity for the CHR chairperson, Gascon, to explain the position of the Commission on Human Rights on this issue about the statements being attributed to one commissioner. And secondly, Your Honor, I have not gone yet to the second point with respect to the issue of whether or not it is proper for us to tackle the death penalty bill in the absence of compliance with the 3-day notice rule. Yes, this was mentioned yesterday by the good chair in the course of the proceedings yesterday at the Senate by way of his comment or reaction to the privileged speech of a member. But let's take note, please. Let's remember that the matter of the EJ case is before a committee or two committees, the Committee on Justice and Human Rights and the Committee on Public Order and Illegal Drugs. The matter is not before the plenary, and there was no proper motion filed or raised at yesterday's plenary session about the propriety of tackling the death penalty bill in the course of this inquiry into the extrajudicial killings. I think the other members of the two committees would want reasonable opportunity also to go over and study the death penalty bills. I, for one, just like the good chair, is against the death penalty. I want to participate thoroughly in the discussions and the deliberations, and therefore I would want reasonable opportunity also to tackle that bill. Let us invite also appropriate resource persons in tackling a very important piece of legislation, the death penalty bill. We cannot just infuse it in the ongoing inquiry into the extrajudicial killings, because that is the very subject matter of this inquiry. So I raise a point of order, and I would want that also decided on by the committee.
I will not be dissuaded from that.
So I have two motions, Mr. Chair.
You
Thank
can
you very
only
much.
have one motion at a time, and you're out of order. Let me just say this. Yesterday you apologized to me, and I did not even bring it up. Now you're going against the issue, and you're going against the grain. Now let me just finish. You cannot control this the way you controlled it last time. I don't want to fight with you. I respect you, but let me just point out, I am not going to veer from the purpose of this investigation. The whole hearings have been, so convoluted by all kinds of detours. The hearing started with an investigation on extrajudicial killing, and then all of a sudden, from out of the blue, an individual named Matabato was brought in, no affidavits, and the hearing was conducted that resulted in a fiasco where, unprecedentedly, the chairman was removed for lack of objectivity. And yet, you cannot blame this representation, because I went over backwards again. Without postponing the hearing, we went on as scheduled. We continued with Mr. Matabato even if it was going to derail. There were already inconsistencies. And we're not judging. We can prove that. I have all the charts to show that. But we continued on with that. It was a wild goose chase that at the last minute, he disappeared. After 13 hours, when the moment of truth was going to go there for the confrontation with the people he was accusing, he left, only to discover that he had pending warrant of arrest. And now he's incarcerated in jail. And he should be brought to justice. It's not far from, fried chicken. I'm not involved with fried chicken here. It's not a question of pride. I mean, I don't care if you apologize or not. I thank you for it. I think that's very noble, but that's okay. Let's finish. I did not even go there. Even before your apology, I said I'm not going to go and bring the Senate to another distraction. People are saying we should concentrate on traffic, we should concentrate on peace and order, we should concentrate on other things. Here comes another distraction. We cannot be forever distracted. He is my friend until now. He is here. I did not say anything against him. Would you like me to read his statement, his text? I will not present him here, but with your permission, Chairman Gaston, I will read it because it speaks about you as a gentleman. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. And I will quote. Alam niyo, ito nag-text sa akin si Chairman Gaston. Baka maging senador yan balang araw. Ano sabi po niya? Binasa ko po yung Senado kahapon. Kaya sabi ko, hindi na kailangan eh. Good evening po, Senator Gordon. I am currently in Amsterdam and heard about the news report that one of our commissioners criticized you. This is not the position of the commission and bank. And sabi niya, and I apologize for whatever aggravation this may have caused you and the honorable members of the Senate Justice and Human Rights Committee. I've spoken to the other commissioners and we hope to make it right. We hope to make it right. May I please call you? Thanks and God bless. And I replied to him and we talked. Sabi niya, kakusapin niya ibang commissioners. Ang lumabas ito. Did I bring this out? I did not. The personal apology of Chairman Gascon is taken into consideration. I respect him as a gentleman. He doesn't have to apologize to me. The least this guy could do is apologize for himself. But the point here is when the commission is dragged, when the headline, what is the newspaper? Not here. When the newspaper, which I brought in a while ago, came in and says, big headline, CHR, talagang magkakaroon talaga ng issue dyan, which I did not raise. Tama na sa akin yan. Sabi na ni Chairman Gaston, pero lumabas na nga yan, pero lumabas na nga, ano ba ang gagawin? Papapuntahin niyo pa si Chairman Gaston and we will be diverted? I think that I don't have to do that. I think, eto binasa ko na, that's good enough for me.
Mr. Chair, I'm withdrawing momentarily my second motion while we take up my first motion. I'm reiterating.
The chair is confused. Which motion are you talking about? You cannot have two motions.
My first motion, Mr. Chair, is to allow the Chair of the Commission on Human Rights to speak and to explain the side of the Commission on Human Rights on this issue at hand. Thank you. That is a pending motion. It has to be resolved first. Thank you.
There doesn't seem to be any member of the committee here. Are we going to vote each other here? You know, technicalities must always give way to substantial justice. Siguro dapat tapusin na natin
I move
dito.
to suspend.
Alam nyo,
I move
I
to
don't
suspend, Mr.
understand it.
Chair.
I really do not understand. When you make something, you know, you accuse the president, sasabihin ka nun, i-withdraw. I accuse him. Hindi po,
Let's not
sorry kayo.
go to that,
Tapos,
Mr.
pupunta
Chair.
kayo dito,
Let's
may gagawin
not
kayo,
go
and
to
you will
that.
sorry. You will say sorry. And now,
There is
you
a
want to bring this
particular
back
matter
again.
at hand, so
Excuse me, what are you trying to tell me?
hindi po appropriate na kung ano-ano naman po ang hinahalo niyo na issue.
Anong hinahalo? Ikaw ang naghahalo. And I am not going to, hindi kita papatulan. Oh, sige, there's a motion. Let's vote. We have a quorum. 1 senator, 2 senators are here. Let's vote. There's a motion that says we should bring Chairman Gaston here. Pero senador na palagi, 3 beses na. Baka mag-senador ka na. All right? As many as are in favor of bringing Chairman Gaston, pag-apat na, to testify here. As many as are against? Oh, walang boto. What do we do now?
Then I raise the second motion. We defer at the moment
The motion is overruled because there is no vote. Okay?
I will raise it again at the proper time.
You can raise anything at the proper time.
May I raise the second motion, or reiterate my second motion on the propriety of taking up the death penalty bill without compliance with the 3-day notice rule before this committee. I move that we defer the taking up of the death penalty bill until such time that there is compliance with the 3-day notice rule to afford the other members of the committee sufficient notice, as well as notice to resource persons.
Is there a second? There appears to be no second motion, so the motion is overruled. Let's proceed. You may bring it up to the floor next time. It's better to bring it to the floor where everybody is here, because I brought it to the floor last time and you were there, you did not say anything. We shall now do it. You know, I'm sorry, I don't really cherish these discussions that are... Senator Patel, are you ready to make your presentation on the death
Just for
penalty?
the record, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, just for the record,
You are speaking on the record all the time. We have not turned off the microphone.
The plenary proceedings yesterday was not the proper forum or venue.
I stand corrected.
To raise
You are
the
all
matter.
obviously, you all have the answers, and I bow to your knowledge. It is
The
brilliant.
proper forum is
It is
before
brilliant.
the committees themselves, not the plenary, because the matter of the EJ case is, and the other, and even the death penalty bill
The chair will now proceed.
has been
Go ahead.
referred
Go ahead.
already
Senator Pacquiao is
to the
recognized.
committee.
You are not recognized anymore.
Thank you.
Very much.